Bernstein Unfiltered. Unfiltered on 312 Sports.
It's DBU on 312, and we are brought to you in partnership with Chicago Window Guys and our friends at Giordano's. With Matt Abaticola on vacation this week, as you know, we are adventuring into some more long-form interview stuff. And joining us today to talk whatever we want is an old friend. It is Chris Ranji of KMOX in St. Louis on Dan Bernstein Unfiltered. Hello, sir. How are you?
Well, hello, Dan. There you are. I've been looking all over for you.
Yeah, I know. I'm easy to find. I'm here. I haven't gone anywhere. He's got his World Baseball Classic hat on. That's pretty sharp. It looks
Yeah,
good.
it was a gift. The lady friend went to the what do you call it? The final and brought me a gift. Actually, it was for her, and I said, "No, I'm taking that." So
just it's a sign of a healthy relationship then.
She said, "No, I got this other stuff." And I said, "Nope, thank you for those. I'm taking those too, but I'm also taking this hat."
Yeah, but you still have a nice head of hair. You don't have to be a hat guy yet.
No, but I'm lazy.
Yeah, but
I think doing the hair in the morning, fixing it all up, it takes like an extra 3 minutes. I can't do all
it
that.
Doesn't. You just go like this and like this, and you leave the house.
Yes, I love to lick my head. My own head. I can't. I'm a little late. I gotta lick my own head.
Sorry, I need a few more minutes here. Stuff I gotta do. How are you? You happy and good and healthy?
Yeah, everything's great, man. Really enjoying life, enjoying doing the show, even though it's not always the most fun subject matter when you're talking world events. But I think we try to avoid the worst of it whenever we can. But it's a little different than talking sports all day, every day. And sometimes I miss that. Because when you go back and you get worked up over sports and you think about it, and then in the moment you're like, why is this such a big deal? It's only sports. It doesn't matter, but you can't help but get worked up over it. It really, those things are not life and death. People's livelihoods aren't being affected by whether or not the Bears win or lose. But it is still somehow way more fun to be irritated about a Bears game than it is about whether or not we're starting a new war in Iran.
Right. It's one thing to be worried about offensive line play. It's another worried about man's inhumanity to man.
Wouldn't you rather be spending your time talking about the TSA lines, the lines to get into the airport?
I've been apparently there are police dogs that are biting people today all across. I was reading that. I don't even know what I'm following anymore, and I've decided that it is for my mental health that a lot of this has become a Marx Brothers movie.
It's crazy, man.
Yeah, but it comes with a lot of privilege, and I understand that there's all kinds of horrors going on in the world right now. And I am privileged to be able to look at things and nervously and in a way that is almost nihilistic to laugh. Because because otherwise my circuits get fried. It's a sardonic and painful response, but it's sometimes all I got left. And I don't know how you do it every day when you are really drilling down in some very serious stuff and talking to people who disagree with you about things that can be fundamental and you probably are saying like, how could you possibly be on the other side of something like this? And yet you have to finish up work and reconcile that.
There was one time I was doing a Sox post game and I think I said to a caller, sometimes I just don't understand how people can think the things they think.
Yeah.
Like, I know we all have different opinions, but I just don't understand how you can hold a certain opinion. And, I guess that's part of being human, that I can't see it from your eyes sometimes. You have to try to. It's difficult to do it, but if you can have a little bit of empathy and understanding of where another person is coming from, it helps a bit, but it is really, really difficult. And you know what else? I saw this tweet maybe a week or two ago, and it was a random person. I don't know who it was, and it was something to the effect of, man is not equipped to be monitoring this many situations. And I'm
It's
like, you know
true.
what? That is I don't know that that's ever been truer than it is right now.
It's
There's
true,
so much to pay attention to.
but that's also part of the strategy. And that has been specifically articulated
Mhm.
by, I mean, going back to Roger Stone, going back to, I mean, the stuff Steve Bannon has said,
Flood the
they've
market.
flood the zone with shit
Yeah.
is what they say. And that this
Yeah.
is, we're seeing the result of that. So it's not an accident.
No.
It really isn't. When you have enough chaos agents lined up to create chaos, it's easy to do. It's easy to tear things down. It's easy to destroy institutions and break things. It's really, really, really hard to build things back.
But you know what, though? When I think about all of that, what I really wonder is who's gonna play left tackle for the Bears?
Well,
That's what I wanna know.
I was going to ask about this because being in St. Louis, it's not as if you're overwhelmed with football from some other market's football team. I presume there's still a lot of Bears fandom there.
Okay, so here's what's odd. There are, I would say, the predominant fan base of those who still follow the NFL, and believe it or not, NFL TV ratings in this city are pretty good compared to a lot of other markets, and especially markets that don't have an NFL team. There are a lot of Chiefs fans here
Sure.
because Kansas City's only about 4 hours away. I think people would rather root for somebody who's still in the state of Missouri, even though the Chiefs aren't going to be for but another few years, and then they're
But are
leaving
there
for Kansas.
residual Cardinals and Rams fans also?
Very few Rams fans. In fact, when I see Cardinals fans, no, I think they're all dead. But the Rams fans,
Because
when
we
I
killed
see
them.
them, it's almost like a what? Why? What are you? I mean, you realize what that team did on the way out of town and the way Stan Kroenke talked about the city. And yeah, St. Louis has a ton of problems, and it is ripe for mocking, and it deserves it a lot. But they did everything they could to try to keep the Rams in town. And that's a reason they won that lawsuit. It was something like $780 million from the Rams had to pay the city of St. Louis
Mhm.
for operating in bad faith when they were trying to leave. Stan Kroenke knew he was going to go to LA, but he made the city go through the charade of come up with stadium plans, and they were going to build a stadium on the riverfront. And he made him jump through all these hoops, and in the end said, "Yeah, cool, I'm still going anyway." And the league voted for it. I think there were only two owners that voted against it. But so I think it was completely unfair the way the city was treated. And he basically said, "Oh, St. Louis can't support an NFL team," but they were dog shit for like 15 years, and they were still drawing about 55,000 people every game. I mean, the best years they had over about the last 13 seasons, I think, was 8-8, and they had two 8-win seasons, and the rest of them were under 500, and people still showed up, even the final year. So it was unfair in that way, and that's all to say that people here still do, even if they're mad at the NFL and refuse to root for the Rams. Most people, so every now and then, you see a Rams jersey and you wonder, where you found that. But people do like it. They like the league. There are some Bears fans down here, and I have somehow managed to become friends with like this group of friends that I made in my neighborhood. They're all Bears fans, and we found a bar that we go to, and we're trying to turn it into the Bears bar in St. Louis, the official Bears bar. So we have a little community. There's a little community
Okay.
here. It feels fun, and we get out every Sunday for games, and it's a great time.
Are you living in the suburbs or are you, because I
No,
don't know the state of downtown St. Louis or what it's, when I had been there with the Bears, the St. Louis, the downtown just sort of shut down and nothing happened after 4 o'clock, and that was
yeah.
that, because that's where I was staying, and the action was out in other places. But like, where does a young man like yourself set up camp?
So I live in a neighborhood called Soulard, and this neighborhood is it's got a lot of French, like New Orleans influence in
Cool.
it. It's a really cool neighborhood, and the brewery Anheuser-Busch, the main brewery
Hmm.
is I don't know, a couple blocks. Like I walk right to it. It's I like this place. I like this particular neighborhood. It's older. The neighborhood is the people here are it's pretty eclectic. All kinds of different people. They're young. You've got kids in their mid-20s, and then my next door neighbor is this woman. I gotta speak. I think she's like 70. I'm not exactly sure, but so like there's a whole mix of people. There's all kinds of folks that live here, and it's very cool. Great little neighborhood bars, little spots to hang out. Everybody kind of seems to know each other. I love it. I love this neighborhood. It is a lot of fun. There aren't any neighborhood like in Chicago. There really isn't like a Lincoln Park here.
Right.
There isn't a Rogers Park. There isn't a Wicker Park or Bucktown. There's nothing
There's
like that
actual
here.
suburbs, right? I mean, you're talking, but people are usually there are all kinds of awesome little suburbs. They're
Yeah.
just not part of the city proper.
Right, but this is Soulard is a neighborhood in the city limits, and I think it's the coolest neighborhood in the city. There's another one called Central West End, which is west by about 10 minutes, still in the city limits. There's a Forest Park. I don't know if you've heard of Forest Park. It's a really big urban park, and it's right up against that, and that's a cool neighborhood too. But it's not quite like this one. So I'm really happy with where I am. It's a
Good.
good spot. It's not quite Chicago, but it's good.
Well, the football thing I really find interesting because a couple days ago in this space, we had Ray Ratto on, who's now writing for The Defector, and just one of my all-time favorites, who is just still, he's in all his glory right now with everything you love and hate about Ray Ratto. Is he hasn't changed a bit, and I always describe him kind of as like the Terry Boers of the Bay Area. And it's easy to see why they became fast friends. And it made me miss Terry a lot in talking to Ray. But something he said was he resents football. He resents the hegemony of the NFL. That the NFL, and it's because they know they rule the roost. They know that they can impose whatever they want. They can take over an entire city for the draft. They're so big and so powerful and almost just inevitable, to quote Thanos, that there's nothing you can do about them. And it bothers him, which I found it to be an interesting take. Like, don't tell me I have to love this, because you get allergic to that. But for what you said about a city without an NFL team, and a city that has been spurned openly by NFL teams, they're still doing big ratings. And I think that's a data point to show the power of the game, and that they're even able to launch a UFL team there because of the hunger for it.
So it's not just launching the team here, because if you look at where the other teams are, and I'll be honest, I think DC has one. I think and I think I know that because I believe it's their first game of the season coming up here. But the Battle Hawks are the UFL team you're talking about. It's not just that
okay, I was going to say Battle Bots or Battle Cats.
Battle Bots would have been awesome.
Yeah, Battle Hawks.
Okay. The thing about the team is, if you look at the rest of the league and you do watch any of the games, it's not great football, but it's still football. And in a lot of these markets, there aren't a whole lot of people going.
I have yet to see a forward pass completed in any of the games that I've watched.
We had Jordan Tamu for a minute.
I don't know who that is.
I think he was the Chiefs' backup at some point.
Who's the coach of St. Louis?
Well, now it's Ricky Prohl.
A former Bear.
Yeah, Ricky Prohl. He was.
That's cool.
Yeah, he's a Rams legend.
Yeah.
So it was a guy named Anthony Becht before that. Yep. And you know how the league is. They say, well, we're just going to decide who your coaches are. So you get Ricky Prohl now. And that's a big deal because people love Ricky here. He's a Rams legend. Everybody knows who he is. Anybody who was around for the Rams knows him. So that was a perfect spot to put him. And the team, believe it or not, I mean, they'll get 30,000 people a game. And there was one, I think they cracked 40,000.
Wow.
But you know what it is? Yes, for UFL. And it is far and away the best attended of all the teams in the league. And I think there's a simple reason for it. Well, there are a couple. One, believe it or not, people down here like to drink. And those games are it's like old Wrigley when they weren't good, but people were filling the ballparks. and
Okay.
everybody's just getting hammered. It's kind of like that, except the stadium's not nearly as cool to be in.
No, but they
It's
must have priced their beer. If people can afford to get drunk at a game,
I
it's probably not $15 beers then.
I don't think it's I haven't been to a game in I didn't I don't think I went last season. So I can't remember how much the beer is. But what I do know is they're having a good time. I mean, they're throwing streamers and, they're chanting and they're having fun. And I think it's the fact they're starving for something to do, and they want a big FU to the NFL. They want to say, "Oh, you don't think we can support a team? This isn't even NFL, and look what we're doing here. Look how many people we're getting to the stadium, and this isn't even the league." I think that's what that's all about. And I kind of get down with that too, because I'd be pissed off if I was a season ticket holder. I had my grandmother had the PSL and the season tickets and all that crap, and went to every single game with her friends for years. And the team said, that's not good enough for us. We're taking off. And so I don't know. There are a lot of people like that, who love tailgating and love going down to the stadium and being a part, because that's what football is. It's not just the game itself and X's and O's. It is, you make a lot of friendships if you're a tailgater, or if you're going to bars. Like I said, I got this little community of people that go watch Bears games, and they're fans of another team that. Here's the only thing about the Bears bar, Dan, while we're on this.
Okay. Well, first of all, let me just share that I'm picturing like you at this Bears bar. I'm picturing, you remember in Return of the Jedi when the Ewoks think C-3PO is a god?
Yes.
That's, and like he's trying to keep them from eating his friends, and they do everything he says. Oh, that's how I imagine. Like you walk into this Ewok bar, and they're all looking at you as their leader in Bears fandom.
Oh my God. Well, I'm trying to get to that status down here, but if I love the bar. People work there are great. It's a good TV setup. But there are people from other teams who go and watch every Sunday, and there's this group of fucking Packers fans. And they're nice, but they're such dorks. And and the one guy wants to come up and talk to me because he knows I'm a Bears fan. I think he knows who I am from radio stuff too. But he's just like, well, what'd you think of that? Like, go away. I don't know. What do you mean? What did I think of that?
You're in a bar, dude.
Leave me alone.
That's what your living room is for. Unless you're inviting that guy over, you can't complain if you're going to a bar to watch Bears games. There's going to be annoying people there.
I don't want a Packers fan coming over to me and talking to me about something that just happened in a Bears game. I don't need your input.
You're doing this to yourself.
I know.
You can't hang up on him in person.
Go to the suggestion box and throw it in there. I'll go read it later. Leave me alone.
Carry him a bucket and then hand him like a 3x5 card and say, write it down and put it in here.
Yeah, if you got any thoughts here, just put them in here and I'll go read them later. Just leave me the hell alone. This sucks. And speaking of the Rams game, so the Rams playoff game, we go. It's my group, my Bears group, and one of the guys, I love, one of my best friends. He's awesome. He's got like 100 cousins, and they all show up, and they're all Rams fans, and they're in their 20s too, so they have no idea what happened here. They don't know anything about any of that. They were too young to understand what was going on, and they're celebrating and they're chanting. And I thought, you know what? This is the worst day of my life. And then Caleb did that thing. I should have just left. After Caleb did that,
after he hits Komet, yeah.
Yes, I should have just gone home and just assumed they won, because it got pretty bad after that. But man, I don't know. It's fun to get to watch football down here, and I love that at least people in the city embrace it, and everybody's got their own team. Like I said, Chiefs have a lot of representation here. There are some Packers fans here, some Cowboys fans, and there are a handful of Bears fans here too. So
do you
it's
watch?
Fun.
Do you have a soccer team? I don't know if I ever asked you that.
They just got MLS. Not just. It was 4 years ago. This is their 4th season.
And okay.
City SC is what they go. St. Louis City
Okay,
SC.
that's what I thought, because I'm curious. And is there one that you root for? Like, do you have a Premier League team that you like? Because I don't know that you've ever gotten into it, right?
Well, okay. So when I was a kid, my high school in Illinois. So I grew up just across the river in Illinois in Granite City, and my buddy was really into the Premier League, and that was back in the time when you couldn't watch every Premier League game. It was kind of this vague idea where it would be on TV sometimes. And so he made me watch it, and I kind of got into it with him, and I adopted Blackburn. There was a team called Blackburn who I think has been relegated. They had a player named Alan Shearer. So
Okay.
I remember when I was in college, I had an Alan Shearer poster.
That's
So
cool. I had
they
a
went
Harry
away.
Shearer poster, but that was, that's just me.
And now it's a Harry Styles. So I got I went without a team for a long time, and I was feeling left out. So when I had moved here, I think it was like 2017 or 2018, and I decided one day to crowdsource it. And so I did a Twitter thing like, hey, help me find a team to root for. Because I'm
There's
not
a
gonna
flow
pick.
chart. No, there actually is like an app that will take you through important data points of your sports fandom and your history and like where your parents came from, that will tell you what team to root for. Like,
Uh-huh.
all my friends tell me I should be an Arsenal fan.
Okay.
They're like, yeah,
Well,
because
that's a Stan Kroenke team, so you can't vote. You can't root for him down here.
because you're just sort of an elitist bitch, and that would be the team. And then
Sounds right.
when I've taken all of these like little journeys with answer this and answer this and answer this, and it spits out your team. I got Tottenham Hotspur,
Okay.
but so my son, out of nowhere, he came home from school like 4 days ago and was up early in the morning. Like, what are you doing awake? He doesn't wake up until 3 in the afternoon, and he's up to watch Newcastle play whoever it is, Sunderland. He was up to watch Newcastle and Sunderland, and he's become this huge Newcastle fan.
Interesting.
And I said, well, why? Because you hate soccer. And he used to hate soccer because, coming from hockey and being a hockey guy, he would turn on soccer, and all he would say is, the goal is huge. Shoot it, shoot it, shoot it. The goal is enormous. It's an enormous goal. Put the ball in the goal, run over to the goal and kick it in the goal. And he would just stand. It made him crazy. And apparently Newcastle kind of does that.
Okay.
That they shoot it from anywhere. There aren't these like little involved dinky backwards stuff. Like, they've got a lot of guys that they want to bring it up the field and shoot it. So he's like, okay, I've found my people. I found my thing, and I don't know. So he wants me to root for them. I guess I could farm it out or figure it out, but I have not yet.
So I didn't know there was a flow chart. I don't know if it existed 8 years ago, so I didn't do that. I let the idiots decide for me. And so what they came back with a bunch of responses, and the four most common were Arsenal, Tottenham, Everton, and I cannot remember the fourth one. So I took those four, put them on a Twitter poll, and I said, all right, you decide for me, who am I rooting for now? And
Okay.
Tottenham won. So
Ah,
I became a Tottenham fan. And then the Bears played there, so it kind of worked out great, in the end, because that seems to be their home field in London. And I haven't followed as much as I should, but I like to tell people I've been a Tottenham fan my entire life since 2018. So I think it's it looks like a lot of fun. I want to go to a game because it's a different crowd.
Everything is different,
It's
and
crazy.
like my kid is like wandering around the house chanting these fabulously profane
Yes.
chants. I mean, they're hilarious. And whoever sits down and comes up with these, and then everybody kind of knows what to sing, and some are wittier than others,
Uh-huh.
and some of them just make really good use of the C word in a way that we can't in
We just
America.
don't do it in America, right?
We don't do it the right way,
Uh-huh.
and they just it's just understood there that it doesn't necessarily mean what you think it means here, and the cultural differences allow them to have a little more leeway when it comes to such things. But yeah, I agree. I would love to go to a game there. I went to London for the first time in July, and we did not see a game, but I would love to.
The energy that they can keep up, and I suppose it's because the half lasts 45 minutes and it's literally 45 and then it's over. It's not, I mean, they might add a little bit, few extra minutes at the end, but you know when it's going to be over, and it's not this, oh, there's not going to be a timeout, and there's not going to be it's not going to be the end of an inning,
Right.
and all this stuff, right? It's just, this is how long the half is. We're starting the clock right now, and it doesn't matter what goes on in the middle unless somebody gets hurt. But you can keep that energy up for 45, 50 minutes, get a 15-minute break, come back and do it again. But there's not, to me, there's nothing like soccer around the world and how intense those games are. At least they look like on TV. Never been to one. I mean, I've been to the MLS game, but that's not the same. It's just, it's not, the quality's not the same. I don't think the energy in the building is quite the same as what they do overseas.
I know my building has been improved by Chicago window guys and Russ Armstrong, because he and his people have come out and replaced almost every single window we've got here. And it's so much better than what the original builder put in. New windows make an enormous difference, and the good windows, they pay for themselves just because of how much money you save in heating and cooling, because they're the low emissivity double paned windows and all this high tech stuff that Russ can tell you about. It makes a difference the moment that you set that temperature, whatever it is, your room keeps and your house keeps its temperature better. So call Russ, have him come out, have him explain this stuff to you better than I can. And he's at 847-302-9171. His 5-star reviews are available at chicagowindowguys.com. He'll match any price. So you hear a bunch of stuff about this buy one, get one free and all this other stuff from the big window people. Don't fall for that. They're sales gimmicks. He's going to explain what is real and what's not. And he's just going to give you the best windows at the best price. He makes everything at his factory here in Chicago. Everything is custom made for your home. He'll come out and measure. His people do the installation, and they are his people. It's not subcontracted labor. It's not third party. It's all Russ's crew. So when you are getting quotes and you're asking other window people, ask who's installing my windows, they won't be able to answer because they don't know. See, Russ knows, and you get some extra peace of mind that way. 847-302-9171, and check out Russ's 5-star reviews at chicagowindowguys.com. Chris, we've waited long enough to talk about the Cardinals. And this is it's a rare time for the Cardinals to be embracing a long needed rebuild. They have been competitive and successfully competitive for so long that I'm sure there are people there who felt entitled to that. They say, look, this is best fans in baseball and all that crap. But this is something different. And I just wonder if you know what you're getting into, and how there are no promises here, and there's a lot of trust that goes in baseball, what can be a multi-year negative experience before you get the payoff. Is the average Cardinal fan ready for this?
I think so, and I was sort of advocating for that, when I moved back down here in 2017, was on the sports station then. They still had a couple of playoff appearances, that happened over the next few years, but you could tell there was a bit of a downward trend that was happening, and you could tell that it felt like they were just making it into the playoffs. And it didn't feel right. It's the thing where you get in the results, and I'm thinking of the season that Paul Konerko, he was hitting close to 400 through like May. You remember that season? And he was, he had this he was getting all these results, and I remember him saying it doesn't feel right. Like I'm getting the numbers, it doesn't feel right. And then by the end of the year, it wasn't great for him. It kind of
Yeah, but
felt
that's
like that.
before we could measure everything. That's before we
Right,
were
right.
looking at batting average. That
Yes.
somebody looking at expected weighted on base average would say, yeah, he's hitting into a lot of good luck right now, or he's not facing the other team's really good pitchers. Like that would be obvious to us now.
Yeah, so that's what it felt like to me for the whole team. And I started to advocate for, maybe there is this entitlement, this feeling of, hey, what are you talking about? We're St. Louis. We should be competitive every year. The Cardinals should always be championship contenders. And I thought that they were on the downward trend. And that ended up being true ultimately. And what I would say at the time is, look, we have seen teams be successful in tearing it down and starting over. The Astros did it. The Cubs just did it. The Cardinals could do it too if they wanted to. And a lot of people pushed back then. But my argument was, I think more and more people are on board with the idea as long as they trust your plan. If they trust who the general manager or the president of baseball operations is, they're going to be willing to go along with you. So if you have somebody like Theo who has a proven track record, the fan base is going to say, "Yeah, cool. Let's do that. We saw it work. Let's do what they're doing." And I don't know that the fan base trusts Chaim Bloom yet. I think he's a really smart guy.
Well,
I
he's
do
definitely
think,
that. I mean, there's no question
yeah,
he's a really
yeah.
smart guy. Yeah.
So I think that at this point, and maybe it's just early, that we don't know all the warts yet, but it could be. I mean, he was criticized for what happened in Boston and trading Mookie Betts and all of that, but it really that was a directive from the top. It wasn't like he decided, you know what, we don't need this player anymore, and we're gonna trade him for whoever comes back our way. It doesn't matter. That really wasn't him. So I think he's unfairly criticized for that. And I do believe that the deals that he's made, acquiring a lot of young talent, pitching talent primarily, this past offseason since he took over, looks pretty good. You don't know for sure what it's going to be, but a lot of the people who measure this stuff, Baseball America and Prospectus and all of them, think the Cardinals have done really, MLB.com, Pipeline, they all seem to think the Cardinals have done well at the minor league level so far, improving their farm system. So as long as people trust whatever the plan is, I think they would be on board with it. Of course, you've got those people who are just they're never going to be on board. Like we've always got to go for it and always got to win. But I think there is more leeway given to a front office that's new and that seems to know what it's doing. And we don't know for sure, and you won't for a couple of years, but I think there is a little patience for it. There may not be a lot of people showing up to the ballpark because they had pretty lousy attendance last year, and that started to decline. In fact, so if you looked at attendance numbers over the years, the only team I think in the National League on a nightly basis that beat them for years was the Dodgers, because they were always like top 1, 2, or 3 at the worst for years. But what started to happen is, I would say around 2018 or 2019, tickets were being sold, but a lot of those tickets were going unused because you could go to the ballpark and you'd look around and think, man, there aren't that many people here. Not compared to what it used to be.
You could probably get a secondary market ticket for a couple of bucks then.
Well, this past season, that's what happened. I don't remember off the top of my head, but there were some tickets, some nights it was like $2 or $3.
Yeah.
And that never used to happen down here. So there might be a lot of that this year. I know that the actual attendance numbers have dropped to like Sox levels, and which is unheard of here. It doesn't happen like that here. So that's a new thing. I mean, it happened in the early 90s and in the 70s it was kind of like that, but it hasn't been that way in the last 20. So that is a very new experience. So I think people have patience though for what's about to happen, but I don't know how long that patience will last. It might be the whatever you define as patience. It might be the very bare minimum. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know if they're going to have, we'll wait 5 and 10 years and then we'll be okay. I don't think they're going to be like that. It might be a couple.
So let's get to the important stuff. I want to know what you're watching, what you're listening to, what you're reading. What's the last really good book you read?
The last really good book. Okay. So right now I am reading a book on the Edmund Fitzgerald. I
Okay.
am a okay, I'm a little strange, Dan. I kind of like reading nonfiction.
Oh yeah, I
I
do.
don't really read a whole lot.
I'm reading nonfiction right now. I try to
Okay.
alternate.
Yeah, I'm reading about the Edmund Fitzgerald. It's a fairly new book, and the wreck hasn't happened yet. You know, the accident hasn't happened yet. So
You're
I'm
like, come on.
no, I think it's been there's just so like where is this damn wreck? Like talking a lot about taconite and the Great Lakes and Cleveland. I'm like, come on, man, get to the good stuff.
if
Where's
you,
the shipwreck?
if you like that stuff, have you ever read a book called, I think it's called Ship of Gold in the Deep Blue Sea?
No,
It's
no.
incredible. It's about a shipwreck that was hundreds of millions of dollars worth of gold.
Okay.
And it was in the news as recently as a week ago. And I read it and I saw the headline. I had read the book years ago and I saw the name of the headline. I'm like, holy shit, this guy. Because there somebody found the gold. And there was it reads like Indiana Jones, where there's this race by the treasure hunters, and then there's this whole maritime law issue of who has the claim to the gold, of who found it first, or who established a claim to the area. And one guy made off with a bunch of the gold and hid it and refused to say where it was. They said that he didn't have a claim to it. Somebody else had a claim to it. And it was by law, he had to say where the gold was. And he refused. And they threw him in jail
Oh boy.
for like 5 years. And he kept saying, I forgot. I forgot.
I
Like,
forgot.
they said, where's the gold? I can't recall. And they're like, this is obviously bullshit. He knows where the gold is. And they say, you got to tell us. You got to tell us. I don't know. I must have forgot. So they threw him in jail and he just got out. And apparently, everybody's watching him because they're waiting for him to go get the gold. And it's seriously, it's like it's a fortune. It's an
Well,
incredible story.
so this does sound like it's up my alley
Yeah.
because now that I think about it, the book that I read before this Edmund Fitzgerald book is a book called Dead Wake about the Lusitania, about the sinking of that, which is super
Yeah.
fascinating. Eric Larson, I like him as a writer. He's pretty interesting. So I read the book about the Lusitania. I don't know what it is with me and shipwrecks and ship accidents.
Yeah,
I love maritime disasters.
yeah, well, I found the book. It's called Ship of Gold in the Deep Blue Sea: The History and Discovery of the World's Richest Shipwreck. The SS Central America sank off the Carolina coast. 400 people died, and it was 21 tons of gold.
Oh Lord.
Yes.
Oh
Yes. So I don't know if they've updated it with the news of this guy getting out of jail now, but yeah, 21 tons of gold. So it's a really amazing story. I would recommend it highly.
You know those moments where you catch people in a conversation and you're like, what in the hell was that all about? And you just kind of back away from it because you don't want to.
All the time. Yeah.
So this is a good hawkaroo. This is
Yeah.
and I've told this story so many times that I can't even remember if I'm the one who heard it or if it was one of the media relations guys. I
Okay.
think it might have been, and the story was relayed to me, and it is so funny because I hear it in his voice.
Mhm.
And open the broadcast booth door. It was in spring training, and Hawk's got his phone out. You know, he's talking to Siri, to his phone,
Siri,
and he goes,
how good is Diane Viciato?
so if you can hear this in Hawk's voice, he goes, Siri, how much is 20 ounces of gold worth? Like, what is he talking about?
Is he like rolling drunks and pulling their fillings out? He's got it like in a Ziploc bag somewhere.
Just getting in fights with in the bars in Indiana, just punching people and taking their gold teeth. I don't know.
Right.
I don't know what's going on, but Siri,
Siri,
how much is 20 ounces of gold worth?
Siri, how do I dissolve a dead body? What kind of acid is best used to dissolve a dead body? Thank you, Siri. Yes.
Stretch.
You gotta miss that, man. You gotta miss some of that. The characters you were around are just.
Oh my
It's
gosh.
between Farmio and Moose and
Oh
Hawk.
my God.
It's like being in a circus after a while.
I miss it, Hawk. I didn't get to hang out with that much because I just kind of left him alone in his booth. But being around Farmio and Moose and was I on with you? I don't remember who I was talking to, but after Pope Leo got elected, we were talking about who would have loved this more than anybody in the entire
Farmio,
world.
yes.
Yes, he would have eaten that up. Just it may have been the entire broadcast every night.
I think I mentioned where he went to high school. Bob went to high school in Dalton. He did not go to St. Rita, but we had people at St. Rita who knew Bob.
I miss that man so much.
It was that
Oh, my
day. It was the day that's when, because after I got fired and I had all that time off, that was the first day I missed being on the radio. It was the day he was named Pope.
Well,
I'm like, I needed a microphone. I'm like, oh my God, I gotta, because I was off social media completely. I had nowhere to go. I was like bothering people in the house doing all these jokes. I'm like, how you doing, guys? Okay, that's right. And having so much fun with it. And I just felt trapped in myself because I didn't have an outlet.
That was one of those times where, and I miss Chicago a lot. And I'm up there as much as I can get there, and it's one of those times where I really wish I was living there in the moment, because it must have been the vibe in the city must have been off the charts.
And it's
just
a Bob. It's a Bob from Dalton. It's like even on
Southside Bob.
Southside Bob
is the Pope,
right? It's
oh my God.
I couldn't believe it. He's the actual Pope. and then the video comes out of him not only at a Sox game,
at a World Series game,
at the Sox game. That's the Pope.
So good, man.
Oh my God.
And Ed Farmer would he have eaten that up? And I would have loved listening. It would have gotten to the point where you're like, okay, Farmio, we've heard enough about the Pope.
You saw that Chuck Swirsky made a pilgrimage there, right?
No, he did?
Yeah. Oh yeah. Chuck's got a little Farmio in him in that regard. Like, yeah, Chuck went there and met with the Pope and gave him a Bulls jersey, and he pulled some string. I don't know what his in was.
Just the fact that the White Sox of all organizations have a president and a Pope.
That's true. And it's the White Sox.
It's the White Sox. It's pretty remarkable.
So this came up. Maddie and I were talking last week. Oh, I know why. Somehow the Dallas Cowboys team doctor came up.
Oh,
and
it's about the injury, the Max Crosby, right?
Something, yes. And they show the Dallas Cowboys team doctor, and he's wearing this huge cowboy hat. So, like, we started talking about it. I know it's Texas, but see, for me, a doctor in a cowboy hat's a deal breaker for me.
Yeah.
I'm not. And as other people said, they said, if you go to the doctor and he walks in wearing a cowboy hat, you've accidentally gone to a veterinarian. And so then the question came up, what would be more of a deal breaker for you? A doctor who comes in wearing a cowboy hat, or a doctor who comes in wearing a White Sox hat?
It's the cowboy hat.
It's the cow for me too.
It's definitely the cowboy
I've
hat.
had Sox fan doctors before, and I'm still here. But absolutely for me, it would be cowboy hat doctor.
If a doctor walked in with a cowboy hat, I would do what my dog did when my dad took it to put it to sleep years ago, where it was not able to walk on its hind legs anymore. And she was 15 or 16, and they said, you know what, just bring her in, and this will be the end of that. And it's like they got her to the vet, and she knew what was happening, and she suddenly started walking like, nope, I'm good, let's go now. I feel like if I had a bad,
you'll be dead quite soon.
I feel like
bring out your dead. I feel like dancing.
I feel better. No, you don't. You'll be dead in a moment. I feel like if a doctor walked in with a cowboy hat, I'd be like, no, I'm all right. My abdomen's fine.
Yep.
I'll see you.
All good. Yeah, no, this isn't a knife sticking out of me. No, don't worry. I do this. It happens. It's fine, really.
Oh my God.
We're
that's
talking
so
to Chris Ranji here in DBU, and let's be honest, this is when the games are starting to get really interesting out there. There is all kinds of basketball in the air. Your St. Louis Billikens couldn't hold on. Our guy Robbie Avila from here in the Chicago area, with the man with too many nicknames. They weren't able to keep it rolling too bad. But you need, when you set everything up for your Sweet 16, what you need is game day food that delivers. If you're watching these games at home with friends, go with Giordano's because you have the full lineup. It's Chicago deep dish if you want something loaded up. There's tavern style pizza. You want to cut into squares, everybody can kind of grab, and as long as you save me one of the little end corner pieces. Thin crust, you want to keep it classic. Add in wings. They've got regular buffalo wings. They have barbecue style. There's awesome cookies. Game day deals can set you up for this real spread. No scrambling around at halftime. No bad last-minute decisions. It's food that shows up the way it's supposed to. These games might be unpredictable, but your setup doesn't have to be. Order delivery now at Giordano's.com or visit a Giordano's location near you for pickup. Grab the perfect game day spread. There's all kinds of game day deals happening right now. It's Giordano's. Your bracket may bust. Your pizza shouldn't. All right, which of the Oscar movies have you seen, if any, and what has resonated most with you?
All right, so what were they again? I saw One Battle After Another.
I've seen that 6 times.
I love that one.
As
What
do
else?
I. Sinners. Have you seen Sinners?
I have not seen Sinners
Oh,
yet.
dude.
I know.
Why
I know.
not?
I've been slacking on the movies lately.
Okay.
I don't know what my problem is.
I don't know what else you might have seen. Begonia, or what is it? If I had feet, I'd bite you, or something like that.
What's it?
I don't know. It's the one with Rose Byrne.
If I had feet, I'd kick you. I think that's what it's called.
Something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's all kinds of movies out there. I'm like you. Like I'm bad at seeing all of them. So, as it used to be, as a SAG member, they used to send me DVDs. You know, they would send screeners for all the SAG members. I could just pop them in, all that. And now it's like you scan a code and you go to a thing, and I don't know, it doesn't feel quite the same. I don't have this tactile thing of somebody sending me a movie. I'm sure I could do it, and I'm just too lazy and stupid.
I don't even know how to do the code thing you're talking about. I'm in the union. I don't know how that works.
Yeah,
I'll have to find out from you.
Are you?
Because I did get mailers for a while, and I haven't gotten them in a few years though.
Well, you probably had your membership lapse.
No, I have it. I have to. I have to wherever my shop is a union shop.
So you're AFTRA.
SAG-AFTRA. It's
you are
merged.
So it's same thing. I see. So because we don't, but for SAG I do. Like if I were to do voice work or do another movie or something like that, I'd have to do that. And the other reason I do it is, the other reason I pay my dues is, as long as I do, nobody else can be Dan Bernstein, because I got the name. I don't have to be Dan J or Daniel J or DJ like all these others. So it's worth it to me just to keep paying it, just to kind of name squat, you know?
Well, I don't have to worry about there being another Chris Ranji. What a kind of stupid. That's what. Did I ever tell you? I met Jack Buck once, and it's when I was interning. I interned at KMOX, and he was never there because he just went to the stadium. But one day I'm in the sports office waiting for the boss to come in, and Buck walks in, and he comes in his blazer and his whatever, and he sits down, and I'm the only person in the office, and he sits down next to me and starts reading a newspaper, and he doesn't acknowledge me, and I'm thinking, oh my God, that's Jack Buck. He's not talking to me. What do I do? And then he said, after a minute, he goes, I'm Jack Buck. How you doing? And so I said, hey, I introduced myself, Chris Ranji, and he went back to his paper. And then a minute goes by, and he goes, Ranji, what the hell kind of name is that?
Well, it's actually an Indian name.
No.
Ranji.
Well, no, it's French, Dan.
Well, yours is French. Yes.
Mine is French.
Ranger, yes.
Yeah.
That I know yours is, but
that's where Ranger came from.
I know, but you weren't the first Ranji. I know one of my very, very best friends is an Indian man whose last name is Ranji.
Ranji. And
Yes.
I have a lot of people who think that's how it's spelled. That
Okay.
happens all the time.
You know, a lot of people are stupid too.
What?
That's something. Having hosted White Sox post game as long as you did, I thought you
What?
knew that.
What? I'm sorry, what?
Huh? All right. So no move. What about television? What TV shows are
Okay.
you watching?
I was just talking about have you watched or been watching DTF St. Louis?
No, but I've heard good things. I don't. You know, I don't watch a lot of TV.
Okay,
I
so
don't.
that's what I don't go to movies a lot. I end up watching there are certain TV shows I will. So that I've been watching the Night of the Seven. Is it the Night of the Seven Kingdoms? It's one of the Game of Thrones spinoffs that just ended a couple of weeks ago. It's
That's
really
all
good.
you. That's all
Yeah,
you.
it's really good. But this DTF St. Louis show, it's Jason Bateman, David Harbour, Linda Cardellini's in it.
Okay.
Peter Sarsgaard, who actually is from Belleville, which is down by St. Louis. He was born on an Air Force base. Anyway, that show I think it's really good, but the problem is it's called DTF St. Louis. So it wasn't filmed here. They filmed it mostly in Georgia because of the tax credits, and Missouri has since passed a bunch of tax credits because they're trying to get more stuff to be filmed here, like Ted Lasso filmed in Kansas City several months ago because for the fourth season of Ted Lasso, part of it, I guess, takes place in KC.
Isn't that
Jason Sudeikis.
where he's from?
Yes.
Okay.
Sudeikis is from Kansas City.
Yeah, big basketball player from there, I guess. Yeah.
That's what I've heard.
Yep.
And so this show, it is really good. And for 99.9% of people in the country, they're not going to care. But because I'm from this area, you're always looking, and the show is named, it has the name St. Louis in it. So you're looking for little St. Louis nods, and there are a handful, but it's not right. Like they didn't film it here. Nothing looks like it's here. It's, they refer to things in weird ways that people here don't refer to them. They did give Kevin Kline a nod. If you know who that is, he's an actor from St. Louis. He was in the movie Dave.
I didn't know he was from St. Louis. You're talking about an Academy Award winner.
Yes.
Chris.
A Fish Called Wanda.
Yes. He was Otto, the stupid brother. Don't call me
stupid. Yeah, there's a place in the show called the Kevin Kline Community Pool. So they did give him a little nod, right? But
that's cute.
Like Ozark, they filmed the show Ozark that Bateman was in. They filmed that's the Ozarks in Missouri where it takes place. They filmed the whole thing in Georgia. So that's the weird part is watching this show and you're trying to find like, it doesn't capture any spirit of this city. So we were just talking about that on the show today. But it's
Hamm
good.
From St. Louis? Isn't he like okay? Because is John Hamm like the Bill Murray where I don't know. I'm trying to just imagine.
like the guy you associate with the market. Yeah, like the one actor. It's probably
if it's a big game, he's there.
Yes, that's exactly right. He does. He goes to, I think the All-Star game when the NHL All-Star game was here, he went to it. Probably a couple of Stanley Cup games. I think he was at in St. Louis. But yeah, when he's in town,
I hear really good things. I mean, I hear he's a terrific guy. So
never met him. I don't know.
There are a lot of, believe me, especially the number of Chicago douchebags that have been that are always floating around, in and around our sporting events.
We interviewed several months ago Jeremy Piven, who's doing stand-up comedy, and he's going on tour. I don't know. He was a nice enough guy.
How'd that go?
It was not. Do you know the worst interview we've done? And you remember Chris Kattan from Saturday Night Live?
Yeah.
Horrible.
Mango.
Absolutely horrid interview.
Why?
I wouldn't say anything, pulling teeth with him. He was sounded like he had just woken. He was awful. He's the worst interview I can remember.
Was it in person, over the phone, or Zoom?
Phone.
Okay.
It was worse than Ryan Buckfitch by miles.
Right-handed.
Right-handed. At least we got a good soundbite out of that guy.
That's too bad. And actually, it's unfortunate because I always had a really good memory at the Super Bowl of interviewing Rob Schneider. And then he became such a whack.
A weirdo, yeah.
Oh, just a total whack job that it made me feel different about that. That was a strange day because I think he was just high as balls.
No, he might have been.
And he didn't leave. Like we did the interview with us, with Terry and me.
Yeah.
And then he didn't leave.
Oh, that happened with, oh my gosh, who did we have on who did that? Oh, I got to think about this. And it was somebody who came to the studio.
Yeah.
And dude, I do not remember who it was. They came to the studio, and then we have like not a green room, but an open common area where Odyssey,
Bill
Louis
Walton. It happened with Bill Walton.
It was Bill Walton?
Yes, Bill Walton happened. I don't know if you were still at the Score when Bill Walton sat in with us, and we couldn't even take a break. It was 45 minutes. We're talking, and then he walked around everywhere, talking to every salesperson, every engineer, introducing himself, asking about their families. He was there for hours.
Here's who it is. Yakov Smirnov.
Yes!
It was Yakov. Dan, listen, he came
Russia, in. Yakov come to you.
He came in. He does a residency in Branson, Missouri. Have you ever heard of Branson? Okay.
So Branson is like low rent. Yeah. But
he's been doing a show that for years. He's been doing a show down there. So he came in, he did a show, he did our show. And then he left, and like 40 minutes go by, and somebody came in and said, your guest is still laying out there on the couch. I go, what? Walk out, and Yakov Smirnov is laying down on the couch in the common room.
America loves Smirnov. I say, what a country.
Like, what is he doing here still?
Maybe he needed a place to sleep.
Awesome.
Maybe Branson's not paying what it used to pay. Maybe he can walk by. That's sort of like the old XRT Robert Plant story.
What is that one?
I've told that. You know that story, right? Back on Belmont, when Robert Plant showed up for an interview, and he was like, oh my God, like this is a rock god, right? Yeah. This is not just some rock and roller. This is not Don Felder or something. It's
right.
This Robert Plant, and he does the interview, and everybody's like taking pictures, and he's signing things, and as he's walking out that little jock lounge that was across from the rack room, where and they're passing around the Chinese menu from that place that Terry loved, that little hole in the wall Chinese place. That actually with awesome food. But
Belmont was before me. I never got to work there.
So Robert Plant and his people, like he looks and goes, "Oh, we ordering Chinese." I'm feeling a bit peckish myself, and he's like, "Well, okay, let's do a shrimp fried rice, pot stickers, and Mongolian beef." And they're like, "Okay." So he hangs out this
succulent Chinese meal.
Right, I can't pass that up. And the huge order shows up, and he just sits down, and he sits there, and he's got all the time in the world, and he's just like, can you pass the sweet and sour? And they're sitting there eating, and then eventually people are like, I have to go now, Robert Plant. It's like, I have to go back to work. Oh, no. And he's just there, sitting at this little Formica table, eating Chinese food.
That is so great.
Yeah, and so it's like it started to get like a little kind of needy.
Wait, do you guys love me?
Right. It's like, this guy's this larger than life. The figure he would pack 70,000 seat arenas to watch him stand there shirtless, and he's just it's one of these people are people, and I always bring that up because I remember. Do you remember when Bono showed up?
That's what I was about to say.
Tower, you went apeshit.
Yes, that's what I was about to say because Batacola. He had because I think my shift that day. I'm pretty sure we had a game. I think it was in September. I want to say it was September. I'm pretty sure the Sox played. And Batacola had texted me and said, "Hey, buddy, when you coming in today? You probably want to get here early because I hear there's talk that a huge band is coming through, and I'm pretty sure it's U2." And I was like, "I will see you in 5 minutes." So I got ready. I came in, and sure enough, they did. And remember, they brought because XRT was their studio door was right next to our control room.
Yep.
And so the whole band came in. and they had their own security that was blocking all of us from getting anywhere near them, which I thought was a little strange because it's like we're not on the street. You
Yeah,
know,
we're all
we're
professionals here. Yeah.
we're all professionals, but yeah, I mean, everybody from the sales department came and looked, and I just thought it was weird they blocked us all off. And then Bono is in talking to Lynn and Norm. Their interview,
Mhm.
Lynn and Norm are talking to the whole band. Then they come out of the studio door and wave, and I think I was taking a video of it and with my phone, and Bono reached over and started shaking hands, and he brushed my hand, and I went, "Oh, that's pretty damn cool." I just
Oh my
touched
goodness.
Bono's hand.
What about the Edge?
I didn't get a handshake from the Edge. He just kept going.
Yeah.
Or Adam Clayton, who was betting all those supermodels back then.
Well, so are you. You're Chris Ranji, man.
You damn
Come
right,
on
pal.
now. I'm saying you guys could have some stories. We're talking about a couple of all-timers there. Wow. All right. Okay. Well, while I'm asking, what's the last great meal you had in St. Louis?
Okay, so we did the lady friend and I, and she did this for my birthday a couple of weeks ago. We went to there's a place called um Sado, which is it's a sushi place, and they have an omakase, one of
Mhm.
those experiences where you go back and they prepare each little
Yeah.
piece for you. And that was, that's a real deal. It was very good. It was
Good.
exceptionally good. And it's in. You ever heard of the neighborhood, The Hill? That's the
Yes.
Italian neighborhood here
Yes.
that's got all
Yes.
the great Italian food. This Japanese place, this awesome Japanese place, is right in the middle of The Hill.
What's the barbecue place I like? Sugar
Sugar
Fire.
Fire.
Sugar Fire. Yes.
Sugar Fire is really good. There's a lot of really good barbecue. Sugar Fire, and they have a bunch of other restaurants. Like there's a place called High Point, which is a burger place, and that is strong. So if you're ever down here, you might want to try that. Sugar Fire is great. Pappy's is the one everybody kind of knows, and there's only one Pappy's location. Sugar Fire
That's
has a bunch.
exactly right. Come on down to Pappy's. Tino
We're out of the ribs.
Antoniacci is here.
We're out of burnt ends. Pappy's and Bogarts. In my
Okay.
neighborhood, there's a place called Bogarts, which I think is the same family as Pappy's. They're really good too. So there's a lot of great barbecue in St. Louis. We do a couple
Cool.
of things well down here.
Yeah, the other thing that I really like, we went several years ago for a hockey tournament, and which is a perfect reason to go there. And we went to the City Museum.
Yeah, you told me about it.
Dude,
Mhm.
that was like phantasmagoric. It's like an acid trip in there.
Yeah,
It's wild.
what's funny is I know I met an attorney, this woman who's been around here for years. Met her, I don't know, 6, 7 years ago or something. And we're just talking about St. Louis, and somebody mentioned City Museum. And I remember you had told me that you'd gone there.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, yeah, everybody I know goes to City Museum. She's like, well, they don't like me very much there because I sue them all the time. And I win.
Oh, with those slides.
People are getting people
Yeah.
are getting hurt. There's a slide which I've never been in there, so I don't know.
You don't know where you're going on the slide.
Yeah,
You
well,
randomly get it. Next thing you know, you're down like 17 floors in the basement, and there's these weird purple lights, and you don't know how to get out.
apparently there's a tube slide where you're completely enclosed, right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
So I guess people go down in their shoes, and she was saying that there used to be bumps in them. And so people would go airborne as they're going down the slide. They go airborne, their shoe would get caught in the roof of that, and they would rip their ACLs. So she said there were so many leg injuries from people going down these slides. And
Wow.
there's some other attraction, which it's like a big vat of water that I guess it spills. She tried to describe it to me, but you're not supposed to get close to it. And this woman reached up and grabbed it, and it was metal, and it sliced half of her hand off.
Well, that's
So
like stupid.
yeah, so I don't know. There's just
But then, like, you come off one of the slides and you look up, and there's nothing but vintage pinball machines for you to play, and there's a
that's cool.
bar there with like 15 different tequilas.
Yeah, it's a cool looking place
what?
from the outside.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've never been in. I still want to go to it, and I'm going to.
It's like Willy Wonka's chocolate factory. Like there's no explanation for what is where and why, and it is. if I had it to do all over again, I'd probably take like a 10 milligram gummy
Just get your mind right for it.
and wait an hour
Yeah.
and then just get lost in there and maybe die or something.
What a place
based
to die.
on everything you're saying, now it sounds really exciting and dangerous.
Dan Bernstein died in St. Louis. Oh, was he shot? No, he's at a museum.
Nope, died at a museum. It happens. Also blew out both his ACLs. Then he died. Completely different incident. No one can figure out how it happened. Chris, this I love catching up, and
Yeah, it's great.
I'm happy to hear that you're happy. So
Yeah, everything's good.
good. So when you're
Until they tell me to
around-
get lost. When they tell me to get lost, then I'll come back to you.
good. I fine. Come hang out whenever. I'm here, and I really have nothing to do with my time other than do a bunch of podcasts and go fishing. So if the weather warms up and you want to, you feel like coming fishing with me, you're always welcome.
Would love to, pal.
No,
You could show me what to do because I have
Fine.
no idea.
Yeah, you're
I want.
fine.
Can we go noodling?
No,
Why?
I'm never doing that.
Why?
Because you as you know, you stick your hand in the wrong hole and bad things happen to you. A wise man once said, be very, very careful just sticking your hand in a dark place and hoping it's good. Sometimes it's real bad. Thank you, Chris.
I'll take my chances.
All right.
See you, buddy.
All right. Love you. Bye.
Love you too.
And that will do it for Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on this Wednesday. Here's a quick note, by the way. Tomorrow, for the Cubs home opener, we, 312 Sports, we are going to be at the Cubby Bear. So we're going to be hanging out there at the Cubby Bear. The 97.1 FM, The Drive, is going to be there as well. And they're going to get things rolling in the morning, and then into the later morning up until game time. I'm going to be there hanging out, and we've got giveaways that we're giving away all kinds of tickets. We've got Cubs tickets. We've got the Drive Summer Concert tickets, including John Mellencamp, Doobie Brothers, Black Crowes, Styx, Santana. Show up. You can win tickets like every half an hour. All day when we're there with the Drive and 312 Sports, we're going to be giving stuff away. We also have a limited number of 312 Sports t-shirts. We've got the can cozies too. And yeah, we are working on more 312 Sports merch. So that's all going to be there. And if you haven't heard, I'm sure you probably have by now, but if you haven't heard, there's a brand new 312 Sports Cubs podcast that you probably have heard today's episode already. And it's going to be every day. It is called Off the Ivy. I'm hosting along with Matt Abaticola and Cody Del Mendo, and it's an everyday Cubs podcast. Make sure you subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. But that today has been DBU. We thank Chris Ranji. We thank our producer today, Cody Del Mendo, and we thank our sponsors, Chicago Window Guys, Giordano's.
Dan Bernstein Unfiltered on 312 Sports.